What's up, YouTube? It's the third time trying to do this video. People keep calling. I don't understand it. Alright, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get. Well, my name is Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Riding with Wayne. That's going to be my name. Um, I just want y'all to come on the ride with me from the beginning, like the absolute beginning of a journey that I have never been on. I did time in the military, did 4 years in the Navy. So, journeys ain't real new to me, but at the same time, this is a new situation. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was in the military 4 years in the Navy. Um, what I'm trying to do is get into driving trucking. I've seen a whole lot of videos. I don't know if people did a video this early before, but this is early. It's very early. I don't even know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could drive because I'll let you know eventually later on in the video. But I do currently hold a Class A CDL, but it has a semi restriction, which semis are way different from what I'm driving right now. And I know the gist of driving a trailer, on the back of a truck, but the pivot point is way different. And the truck size, which trucks is decent size what I'm driving, and the equipment that I pull is pretty big, but at the same time it doesn't qualify as a 18-wheeler because it has no fifth wheel. So what I'm going to do is get in the truck and leave the current job I'm at right now, which I'm on my last week. I already put in my 2 weeks notice. This is my last week of the 2 weeks. I put in for the last 3 days vacation and everything, so I can just close the week out and get set up. I get paid this week, so everything's matched up. I organized it pretty good to where my pay is going to drop off right when my pay picks up, when I get with my training and everything. I used to work for the city of Louisville, live in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's a good job. It's a very good job, and I just felt like it was getting redundant. It was the same thing over and over and over and over. It was beginning to be something that I knew was going to be the same way pretty much for the next 25 years. Well, I was 26 years, so I did 4. For the next 22 years, of my life, 26, 5, 4, 3, yeah. For the next 22 years, I kind of realized that, I'm going to be doing the same thing over and over and over every day. And a lot of the people that I work with is older and they retiring, so I'm going to be the old guy. Do I want to be the old guy doing this? And I knew I didn't want to be. I'm not saying I'm not a people person, but at the same time, it's kind of eye-opening when you see other people doing it. I have friends that got into it. I got somebody that drives for Werner. He eventually, you might see him. We might meet up while we out on the road later down the road. I like to think ahead too. I know a lot of people's like, man, you ain't even driving. You ain't even in the truck yet. You ain't even went to school. How you talking? But I like to think ahead. The best way to think is what you're going to be doing down the road. You don't want to be thinking about what you're doing right now all the time. You want to be current, but at the same time, you want to be in the future. You want to live in the future. You want to live, positively in the future. You don't want to think about death, or something like that. But I want to be in a career where things change every now and then. It's not the same thing. I know a lot of people say, well, don't get into trucking because of money. Well, right now I make decent amount of money, which is not going to be more than what I'm going to make driving a truck. Let's just put it like that. I make, if the money I made was equivalent, if I make the money I'm making now in a truck, I'll be happy. Let's put it like that. And if I made just a little bit more money in the truck than what I'm making now, it's a plus. because right now I don't care about the money that I'm making because of the work that I'm doing. If you get what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. The money is okay, but if I can make it just a little bit more, doing something different, I'm with it. And I've been holding my CDL for the past 4 to 5 years. So, and I've never done anything outside of working for the city. And I just thought, you know what? Let me do something about that. Let me change that. And I started doing videos. Well, I started looking at videos on YouTube about truck driving. And it was like an eye opener to see a whole lot of people doing this trucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was women, shit. Cause like in the city, I don't know if you ever noticed, but every time you see like a truck driver, ain't like always like an African or some shit that you can't even relate. Like you looking at them like, I don't even, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems. I'm not saying there's something wrong with Africans. I'm African. I'm talking about like real African, like straight from Africa. A foreigner, like a Hispanic man, and you looking at him, you like, man, maybe he's doing this and he's shooting the money back to the crib. He just living there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. They stay up in the truck and they shoot the money to the crib, and they take care of the whole family with that. You know what I'm saying? But me, I live here. You know what I'm saying? I need to be taking care of bills and kids here, and it's expensive. So I'm looking at it like, all right, if I can make equivalent of what I'm making now, get my time in, I'll be right down the road. So I start looking like, all right, I'm tired of doing what I'm doing now. I don't see me, after a year being able to go up the pay scale. I've been doing it 4.5, 5 years. So I was like, well, let me look into this trucker. So I looked up truck driving, YouTube. I'm seeing all these people. People look like me, people that act like me, people that talk like me. It just seemed like it was like, what? Like, oh, like people kind of like, I'm 36, but I'm sure everybody ain't that old or that young doing it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people only get that mind state that what you got at home, going to the clubs or the females you might be messing with, they passed all that by the time they hit 30 something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure everybody that's doing it only snaps out of the whole concept of this is what I should be doing, going out, drinking, kicking it. You can still do all that, but you ain't got to do it every single weekend. So I kind of snapped out of that mode and I started going, you know what, it won't be that bad. Get my time in and just jet out. So I was like, all right, I'm looking up all the places that I can, get a CDL. Well, right now I have a Class A, but it has a semi-restriction. The semi-restriction is because I didn't test out in a semi. I did my whole pre-trip. I did all of that walk around, everything, all in a Class A certified vehicle, which means it's a combination. It's a combination vehicle. It don't have a fifth wheel, and it's not an 18-wheeler. So I did my whole thing in a dump truck. What people use to, yeah, if you ever have one in your city, snowplow. You ever seen a snowplow truck with salt in the back and it's shooting the salt out the side and plowing the snow? That's what I do. But we do pull heavy equipment. So I got a Class A to do that. I did that, and then I thought it was okay. It was fine. So I'm thinking, well, I got a Class A and everything's all good. And then I'm looking, I'm reading, and I'm doing all my research. And I noticed on the back it has an O restriction on my license, which means you can't drive semis until you test out in the semi. So I'm like, oh, here we go. It's always a loophole. It's always something. They don't want you to get your Class A and be like, oh, let me get up out of here. I'm gonna go drive trucks. I'm done. I can almost double this money in time. And they figured it out. So they put that restriction on there. So I'm looking at, places like Swift, Maverick, Werner, CR England, but I heard so much bad stuff about CR England. Swift. Did I say Swift? I guess, I don't know. TMC. It's all kinds of them. All of them. Any trucking company, Schneider, any trucking company that I feel I can get in and make moves and just, you know, make equivalent to the money I'm making, or more, I want to do it because I want to, you know, get on bigger and better things down the road. So I'm looking at all these places, and Maverick was at the top of my list. Maverick and Swift was kind of at the bottom because I didn't really know too much, because I kept seeing so much bad stuff. People say so much bad stuff about Swift, man. It was crazy. So I said, why is everybody always hating on Swift? Is it Swift or is it the workers? You feel me? Like, because a lot of people always say what the workers do is what the company's about. And to me, I'm like, man, I work for the city of Louisville. I got so many dumbasses that work with me, man. I guarantee you, if you come in, if it was more public knowledge, like people could see more of what I do and the people I work with, ah man. Oh man, it'd be over. People would be like, man, what the fuck? Like, y'all niggas idiots. Like, what? There's only a certain few of people that know what they doing, and those is, you know, usually the crew leaders. The rest of people are stupid as motherfuckers. So I was like, man, is it the workers or is it the company? So I started looking past what people are saying. And I every time I drive, you know, I work for the city, so we be out, and I see a lot of Swift trucks. Every, you know, you be seeing the expressway. I'm on the expressway. The Swift trucks is shooting by. I'm like, man, they be out here, you know, like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and look into this Swift thing. I did like Maverick, you know. It's a dude named Trucking with Tay and Wild Beard. The first person I seen was Wild Beard. I don't know if he's ever gonna see this video. He might, but I seen him. He was cool guy. He got a beard and it got white in it. He used to drive for Maverick. I'm like, he was in the reefer division. I said, man, I'd like to do that. Did more research. No, I don't want to do no reefer. But I still like Maverick. That pays good. So I'm looking at that. At the time, I'm working night shift. Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I don't really want to jump too fast right now. Let me look a little more. Look, seen a dude named Trucking with Tay. He worked for Maverick. He worked in the glass division. And he was, man, his energy was crazy. Like, man, I'm a, you know, come to Maverick. Da 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 da. If y'all look up his video, Trucking with Tay, look up his video. He worked for Maverick. Dude's wild. He's cool as fuck. And he you know, he like his job, you know, and he's cool. Same as Wild Beard. They're cool. Wild Beard left. He went to another company. But, you know, it seems like he's doing good. He like his job. So I said, man, the energy they're giving off makes me believe that it's the people. It's not the company. So I kept seeing Swift trucks. So I said, man, I'm looking at Swift. Maverick, I don't see too many Maverick trucks. I see like one or two, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to push you into the flatbed. I don't want to do flatbed. I want to do dry van. You know what I'm saying? So I looked up Swift. Turns out we got a Swift, I don't know if it's a terminal, but we got like a Swift yard where they got trailers or whatever down here. So I said, okay, we got a spot down here, and you know, they giving you regional. So when I called the lady, she's telling me all the information. I'm listening, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt, you know, the cruise thing. So I'm like, all right, let me do my research on Swift. I'm gonna look at their pay. I'm gonna look at every single person that works with Swift, and it's a lot of them. Boy, I tell you, it's a lot of them, and they real people. Because at first I'm thinking truck drivers is kind of funny looking, you know, like I'm looking at them like, I don't know if I want to be a truck driver. Like, you know, most of them is like African, like African. I'm African, but not African. Puerto Rican, you know. I'm looking like, they look like they good at, you know, being on the road, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, I want to see a regular dude, like a regular nigga, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to say nigga like that, but, you know, a real nigga, like somebody that got a life, you know what I mean? Like somebody that goes out, somebody that hit the club, somebody that might, you know, dibble and dabble in some fun activities every now and then. What am I gonna be missing out on? Do they get to the point where they like, you know what? I want to be missing my family like that, and I do need to see my boys every now and then. So I looked, and I'm seeing all kind of people. Freeway Rod, That's one of my favorites right now because he's cool. He's cool. He's an older cat. He older. I'm 36. I don't know if he's in his 30s, but he's up there in age, and he kind of got the perspective of what it's like. Let me just get up out of. He comes from a different atmosphere than me. You know what I'm saying? He came from the hood. He had to come from the bottom, come up out. I'm in a decent position. I work for the city. I make good money. Got my own spot. I'm moving and grooving, but at the same time, it just ain't where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to get to another level. But I like his point of view. I'm caught up in the hood. I'm caught up in the product of our environment, which is not always a bad thing. I just like to be out, smoke weed with the boys, and let me hang out, kick it. You know what I'm saying? Drink a beer, kick back the Henny every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Just do something fun. Might not be productive, but it's fun and it got a grasp on you. Is that more fun than getting out here on this road, being by myself most of the time? And he gave a good point of view of it. So I was like, man, see, okay, so it is real niggas. It is real people out here that got a different mind state, that actually got a life doing something fun that they might feel like, I don't want to be away from it too much. But they did it. And they worked for Swift. So I said, man, it might just be the workers, you know what I'm saying, that's crashing. Because I drove school buses, I drove garbage trucks, I drove dump trucks, I drove all kind of vehicles. And 9 times out of 10, it's the damn operator. You know what I'm saying? They out here, they ain't scared to death. Some of these people just like they put people behind these school bus driver wheels, and they just have them out there with the kids in the back. As long as you can get them point A to point B, you hear it. Take your CDL, push the gas, turn the wheel, get out. You pass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, oh man, they're putting some kids at risk. You know what I'm saying? So these trucking companies can't be no different because it's moving like this. They making money hand over fist. You know what I mean? Your money's just pouring in. Like they wiping their tears with the money. You know what I'm saying? Tears of joy. Like, oh my God, these motherfuckers is just making us money. And they figured it out. They figured out how to factory. You know how you ever been work for a factory? They figured out how to make the driving a semi truck just as easy as working in a factory. And they pumping them in and out. Pumping them out, pumping them in, pumping them out, pumping them in. It's hard to get your CDL. You gotta have some type of common sense, some type of sense. But at the same time, you ain't gotta be all that skilled. And you get out there and you mess up. Break the truck, get nervous. People's nerves is different. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people's out here driving semis like that. And I just figured it out. It's the workers. It's not the company. So I went with Swift, and the lady told me everything. I got all my stuff situated, got all my paperwork in, everything, crossed my T's, dot my I's, linked up my paychecks where my paychecks line up. I got money put away. You know what I'm saying? I took a little bit of my retirement out. I'm going to pay up my rent. That way I ain't got no rent. My family's good. She can afford to pay all the bills by herself. She don't even need none of the money that I'm going to be getting because it ain't going to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be straight up into a certain point to where I'm rolling now. So bing. I'm the type of dude that I think before. I think in the future. I don't think for right now all the time. I think what's going to be. So lined up everything, put all my ducks in a row, 2 weeks notice, bing. Wop, I'm in there. So now I'm making a video because this Saturday I'm heading out and I'm going to be down there in Asheville, North Carolina at the Swift School or whatever. I don't know if it's Swift School, but it's a school for Swift. And this is my first video. So what I want y'all to do, subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you think about it, tell me what you don't think about it, hate on me, call me ugly, tell me no, why you on Swift, you should have went here, there, everywhere, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do this, and I always got a common goal, and that's to just keep going up. If Swift takes me up just one step, I'm gonna take that one step. Then I'm gonna start thinking, okay, how can I get the next step? Only one step at a time. Ain't nobody gonna shoot to the motherfucking stars on their first move. You always gotta think ahead. What's the next move I can make that'll take me up, not down? Always think like that, and I guarantee you, after you start that process and you get to where you're trying to be, you're like, man, I'm so glad I did that, man. Because ain't nobody gonna shoot straight to the top. You always gotta plan out the next move. And the next move always gotta be taking a step up. Can't take a step back like, man, I guess I'm just gonna work for McDonald's for right now. And then I'm gonna shift my gear. Then I'm gonna go no, stick, put the blinders on, keep walking down that path just like I did. I'm working for nights, man. I was depressed. I'm ready to get the fuck up out of there right then and there. I'm laying in a park on my car, looking up like, damn, man. I really, really need to get out of here. I really don't want to be stuck here. And I had to think, and I had to bear down and do what I had to do until I got to this point. And now I feel like I'm making progress, So, making good money too. I'm just trying to get to some better money. So, I got to go this route. So, Swift it is. We're going to see. All right. Riding with Wayne. We out. Peace, YouTube.